king.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be why? Now that I need you, why?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Point of View. It's Sunday. It's time to chill and have some fun with your two most gracious hosts. I'm Bobby Munson, and that man beside me, he talks a lot. He is Mark Robson. How you doing?
Well, I'm very looking forward to later on today hearing a certain American say there's 7 hours of football commercial free, and winners become losers and losers become winners. The NFL is back today, and I'm very excited for that. But we've got a lot to talk about today, haven't we? A lot's happened on OLE. I've just seen that calendar. Jesus, we're busy this week with stuff. And do you know what the best thing is as well? I haven't got 4 shows to do.
For once, eh? As we say hello to Heel Kevin in the house. How you doing, my brother? Thank you for joining us here on Point of View. Haven't heard from you or seen you in a while. I stopped by a few of your streams all the time, stuff like that. And I mean, always kicking ass. So anybody who's watching, head on over to Heel Kevin on YouTube and Twitch.
A fun fact about Heel Kevin. Heel Kevin doesn't know this, and I don't know if he's still here. I hope he is still here. He got me into doing wrestling TikTok. I was watching his TikToks many moons ago. I think it was about 3-4 years ago. And I was a massive fan of his, and I used to watch all of his TikToks. I didn't agree with them all, but at the same time, that I really respected like his passion and seeing his growth of what he's done. He knows nothing about me, but I just wanted to say that I'm a massive fan of yours. You are amazing content creator for the wrestling community, and I really do hope you keep it up and see you doing a lot more things in the future. And also, he plays golf as well. I think I did see him play golf at one point as well, and I'm learning to play golf as well, so that is a good thing as well. So yeah, Kevin, thank you ever so much for being here and being in this as well, and just want to say I'm a big fan of yours.
Yeah, and I second all that as well too. An inspiration as to why I started doing music reacts and stuff like that too, because Kevin does that. He goes for it all over there on his channel. So there you go. Kevin saying, "Let's go." Thank you for the kind words. The best thing about wrestling is we can disagree and still be friends. Hell yeah, we can. That's the best part about it. The wrestling community, especially those that don't want to get into these stupid little pissing matches back and forth with each other. It's like, yeah, I don't love everything about pro wrestling, but you know what I do like? I like wrestling fans. That's what I like. I like wrestling fans, wrestling fam. That is one of the greatest things. It's just kind of like Mark and I don't always agree on English football. Not even close. But you know what? We're right here. We talk about it. We have fun with it. We can take little jabs back and forth and still be good mates, good friends at the end of the day. So that's what it's all about. You sure can. I want to know the golfing advice. I mean,
Oh,
my,
please.
my best advice is for someone like me is to stay the hell away from it unless you want to watch me just swinging at nothing all day long. But yeah, please share with the golfing advice of the morning here on Point of View. I'm interested to find out.
So my short game is good. I would say it's good, like with the irons and that. I'm okay with. Haven't done putting yet. That's what I need to learn, and what I'm going to. This is what my aim for this year is to start learning to putt. But my driver is god awful. It will go about 250 yards, but it will not go straight. It goes left or right. It does not go where I want it to. So that is one of the things I'm learning this year is to try and get my driver to go. But no, you're right. We don't agree on most things, and I can't stand, especially after the stuff that I saw this morning with AEW. Some of the stuff I don't think belongs in a professional wrestling ring, which made me feel violently ill watching some of that stuff, the highlights of what I saw. But they're trying to be different. They're trying to push the boundaries on things. And yeah, like I'll give you examples. I hated the needle in the mouth and then the chair shot. I don't know if you've seen that, Bobby, but the chair shot that Hangman did to Swerve was you don't. There's a reason why WWE don't do chair shots to the head. They don't want you to die early. They don't want things like that to happen. And then the plastic bag around the head of Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson as he's now called. I didn't like that at all. That I did not like at all. Made me violently ill when seeing that. That's just not right. But people love it. People are sick fucks, and they like that kind of thing. So all pairs. But to me, that's not for me. That is definitely not for me.
And let me explain. I'm with you to a degree. Okay, so now. How do I put? Okay, hold on. We'll get a comment from STG first. People are sick. Now, my whole thing.
He definitely is. STG.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Good morning, good afternoon, Joe. Yes, good morning, good afternoon to you, to STG. My whole thing is, and I know I talk a lot about abolishing gimmicks and gimmick matches and stuff like that, and I say that to a certain level of sarcasm and fun because I'm known for being the guy who likes more pure wrestling and stuff like that, but I am okay with a gimmick match when a gimmick match makes sense. So for me, there has to be a reason for said gimmick match. You got two individuals who weren't able to get anything accomplished inside of the ring because the blood feud has become so thick that they can't. It's either a DQ, it's a count out. It's never going to get that finish that you want. So that's when you top it off with that gimmick match. Or they've had a series of matches back and forth. This guy wins, it's a draw, whatever. And then you blow it off with a gimmick match. It feels to me like more often than not, especially in a modern day, is that people are quick to go to a gimmick match immediately. And I'm not saying that was the case with last night's pay-per-view and stuff like that. Again, I haven't watched religiously enough to really be able to comment on that. But to me, if you're going to go to the extremes of really violent acts and stuff like that, which again, even in the history of pro wrestling, there was lots of crazy violent acts like Abdullah the Butcher. People aren't as really familiar, but the New Zealander, the Kiwi sheep herders, aka the Bushwhackers, used to be one of the most violent tag teams on the freaking planet, like to the point of jabbing people in heads with forks and all sorts of stuff like that. So to me, it's like it can be done, but why is it being done? For me, I need the why. That's basically how I put it. I need the why is it being done more opposed to, I'm a sicko and I want it. That's my whole thing on it. Just going back to Kev for a moment here, because he's gotten this in. When you drive, if it goes to the left, that's called a hook. If it goes to the right, that's called a slice. If it goes down to the middle, that's called a fucking miracle. Like fucking miracle right there. Not so much advice as his words of wisdom. I'll take it. I like the words of wisdom personally.
Absolutely.
And STG saying, I agree with you on gimmicks, Bobby. I prefer technical wrestling as it shows the technical ability, but that's my age showing. that's like me as well too. Again, gimmicks were built up to, there was a reason you got to a cage match. There was a reason you got to, a no holds barred match or whatever it is. I think we've lost that especially with years of, and I don't blame WWE for this more so in the modern era, was let's have a whole show about Extreme Rules. Let's have a whole show based on ladder matches. Let's, like that was to me where it started to get out of hand, where it was like we're having gimmick matches for the sake of having gimmick matches,
and
we're not getting back to the why.
The one thing I have found since Triple H has taken over, those gimmick matches, like specific gimmick matches for a PLE, like Hell in a Cell, was basically just Hell in a Cell matches for a few of them. He's scrapped that, and then there's other gimmick doing that. And I agree with that. I'm if you look at the WWE right now, you've got two world champions who are two completely different. You've got Cody Rhodes that you could put him in any gimmick match and he will make it seem sensible. You put Gunther in a gimmick match, it has to be a gimmick match for a reason. With Gunther, it's very much of, you want to beat me, wrestle me. You ain't gonna look at the match between himself and Randy Orton. It was fewer discretion, the referee's discretion, sorry. But there was need for Randy Orton to use those steel steps. There was a need for him to use that table because nothing was putting the man down. Yeah. And with Gunther, I don't see. I presume Drew McIntyre is the aim now for WrestleMania to pull it off. And you've got Gunther after the vicious attack Drew McIntyre did on CM Punk on Monday Night Raw. It's going to be interesting how they carry on with that feud moving forward. But yeah, I think the one feud with Swerve versus Hangman I have seen over the internet was that the reason why this was they hate each other. And then Hangman burnt down Swerve's house as he was a kid. So basically, they've stolen Randy Orton burning down the Wyatt family's house. Let's bring flames into it. And then Daniel Bryan getting turned on by the BCC. I saw someone on the internet yesterday who was live streaming, really got that name wrong and could not come back from it. It was brilliant. But doing the BCC, but I do feel like, right, so there is talk that Shane McMahon is very close to coming on screen with AEW. And what a best way. And I was thinking about people going, oh, Moxley and Shane McMahon are going to do it. But if you think about it, the more logical thing is Shane McMahon with Brian Danielson. Because if we remember correctly, the best SmackDown era in a long time was them two, general manager and owner, was when Shane McMahon was overseeing it and Daniel Bryan was the general manager. So who knows? I'm not an AEW fan. I don't like that type of thing whatsoever. But that's up to people's choice. And let's see how it goes. AEW need massively increase in viewership. And they need it massively because they had All In, which was, according to them, a success when there was a lot of seats not filled. And then the viewership just didn't go up. It's going down. So I don't know what they need to do. But at the same time, I shit on AEW because of Tony Khan. I can't stand him. I think he's just an absolute plonker. But I respect the wrestlers inside of it. There's a lot in there I wish was still in WWE, and I don't mean no ill will, apart from the Young Bucks, who I can't stand whatsoever with like every inch of my breath. But let's see what happens. I hope they get things sorted and it goes all right for them. Yeah.
And just going to go to a few messages that came in from STG during this time.
No.
Why the cage match? Having one ladder used to tell a story. Yeah, Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon did that brilliantly when they did. Instead, we get 8 ladders per match now. I agree with you. BCC minus Yuta because Yuta tried to help but was held back. And then also saying I was a huge AEW fan when they first came. Stopped watching wrestling for 14 years, got progressively worse for me, which piqued my interest in WWE again. And then, of course, F the Young Bucks, and they pissed right off. Yeah, I'm not personally a Young Bucks fan. They're not my cup of tea at all. As for AEW, I feel the same about them as I do with WWE, with MLW, with TNA, with every company across the board. There's good and there's bad. There's good and there's bad across all companies. And I know everybody's looking at Triple H with stars in their eyes right now going, oh, Triple H. And I agree. He's doing some fucking phenomenal work. Like, that has piqued my interest very much as a fan of pro wrestling. But there's sometimes I look at what he does and I'm like, the fuck were you thinking on that one? And it happens. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in every wrestling company because you can't appease everybody all the time. And I agree with you. I'm a lot less a fan of the way Tony Khan puts a show together than I am of Triple H. But that's because Triple H has that background, that knowledge. Tony Khan comes in simply as a fan with money and stuff like that. And he fantasy books. He fantasy books what he thinks is right. I think that Tony Khan's best thing he could do right now is hire a really strong wrestling-minded booker to book the shows and not have the necessarily all of the input in the way of the actual performers. Not to say the performers shouldn't have some say. They should be allowed to come to you and say, why are we doing, like, why would you like me to do this kind of thing? There should be that conversation that happens. It's just like, again, like, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. I work in independent wrestling. A card is made up. We come to the show. It's top to bottom. Here's what the card is for the night. And there are some times when the wrestlers will approach the bookers and say, look, just out of curiosity, what's the end goal? How come I'm doing the job tonight? Where does this progress? And that's when the bookers will come and say, this is what we were thinking. And sometimes that's enough for the wrestler to go, okay, I got you. Perfect. Let's roll with it. Or sometimes there's a little bit of conversation back and forth and they might go, you know what? Shit, you got a good point. And then something adjusts and gets a little better or whatever it is. STG saying there's more bad for me for AEW now. There's a reason the viewership's declining. I agree. I mean, there's the people who are completely in love with it. They love the crazy over the top stuff that happens. They love the silliness, the fun, the laughter and everything like that. It's not my type of pro wrestling. It is for some people. Just doesn't seem to be clicking on a national level the way that they would hope it would. I don't wish the mill will. I really don't wish the mill will because I want to see wrestling survive. Yeah. The reason WWE is even doing better is because they have competition. Mm-hmm. Call it what you want. It might not be competition in the way that it's like the way WWF and WCW were in the late 90s, but it's competition. It's something that the wrestlers can go, you know what? I'm tired of this place. I have options kind of thing. And when wrestlers have options, we get better quality product with time. And I hope that AEW gets to that point at some point in time. STG agreed. It's the truth. AEW forced WWE to change some things around. I don't want them to fail. No, exactly. Again, I want wrestlers to be able to put food on their plates. I want wrestlers to have a roof over their heads, and I want them to be successful. So that's about where I am with that.
I want to go back on what you said a bit as well when you said about Triple H making some stinking decisions. And I'll go back to when Gunther lost the Intercontinental Championship to Sami Zayn. And I'll go back to when Cody Rhodes lost to Roman Reigns at the WrestleMania Hollywood. I think that's what they're calling it now. When it was back then, and I went, all of that for that. And then we've got to go for another year. But then it made sense in the end. Gunther needed to lose that title to go after the World Championship. So did I. You should have seen the live stream afterwards. I was fuming. And I will slap on him any day. I yeeted him. So that I understand. There's always, like, if you look at WWE, there's always, and Triple H always says this, and it's sort of becoming ringing true. There's a madness for it. There's a reason for it. There's just not bad enough for you losing. That's like with Vince McMahon. You knew that he got bored after a while. Brock Lesnar, off you go. That type of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things now where there's a purpose behind it. And then you've got NXT now doing incredible work. What they did at No Mercy and what they're doing now with Julia getting her first in-ring match in NXT on Tuesday against Chelsea Green. And Chelsea's going to sell the hell out of that. And then
she's
you've
she's a good Canadian, so we know what to do.
Chelsea Green is just the epitome of everything that I love about Chelsea Green. And then you've got TNA now that made the partnership with WWE, and it's worked. This partner, like AEW tried to do it and they ruined each other. Now, the partnership that they're doing between TNA and WWE is so good. You've got Paxley, you've got Ariana Grace, the real life daughter of Santino Marella, who's now become the liaison officer between NXT and TNA women. And you just know, when I heard that, and the commentary was so quick on this, going, oh, I wonder what Santino thinks about this. And I went, so perfectly done. And then you got Victory Road coming up. By the way, if you haven't seen the Victory Road card, holy hell, that could be one of the greats. But Auntie Collins, can we talk about Auntie Collins, please?
We sure can. That's why I want to bring this up.
We'll go back to Victory Road in a minute, because I want to talk about Auntie Collins. Oh, what an interview. If you guys haven't seen it already, please go back to yesterday. It is live on the OLE. Is it on your Twitch still?
Oh, yeah. Twitch and YouTube.
Do you
want me to play a clip from yesterday?
Oh, please. So let me just inform you this clip before we get into it, right? This clip is the funniest clip. Bobby wrote in the chat, and then this happened. Play it.
Here.
Play it.
What that means, is that like a doorknob or what? No. I don't know what it means.
It means, right, so knob in English means you're a penis. Means you're a dick. Right? Yeah. So over in England, if you go, oh, you're such a knob, it means you're just being a dick. You're a dickhead, that type thing.
Oh my god.
By the way, if you're watching, you need to click.
All right. So no matter how many times I see that video, I am still dying with laughter as a result of it. And I don't think we're the only ones. Andy Collins saying, oh no, and Clem SDG saying Andy Collins is a ball of fun. Only saw the last 45 minutes live. So need to watch the very first hour. And it's this clip and Andy Collins. It's the scream for me.
It's
and
the wheezing.
I'm dying again. Yeah. So this is
the wheezing. It gets me every time.
Yeah.
I'm literally crying again. But no, please go back and watch the first hour. There was a few hard-hitting topics that Auntie Collins talked about her life, her personal life, which shed a few tears for a few people that were watching, and talking about how she got to where she is now. Then we talked about how she met her now husband as well, Uncle Collins. We talked about that, and then we had that clip. That was all set up by Bobby writing in, calling me a knob, and that was so cleverly done, and it was so funny what happened off that. But what I will say was that was the best interview I've done with someone, with the emotional roller coaster of what I've had during that show, from one person. And I think the interviews are getting so good week in and week out. We've got Ella J coming next Saturday, which is going to be phenomenal. And then the week after that, we got 2 guests on at once that will be coming on as well. And it's just, she's so amazing, Auntie Collins, and everything that she does and she's done. And the laugh, the scream was a bit, I was like, right, that's good. But it's the wheezing that she does halfway through where she just can't breathe. That was the bit that absolutely sent me to another moon. Absolutely. She's the best one. She's the best one joint with Ed that's done it right. Kimmy got angry with me, like jokingly angry with me after. I don't know whether you saw that bit, Bobby, where I don't know whether people have seen it, but she like was so annoyed at herself afterwards when we were sat in the back and we were talking. She was like, I write. Why can't I think of more one words? She was going to me. And I was just absolutely wet. But that was brilliant. Ed did really well. Auntie Collins did amazingly. So I think that now the standard is, can they beat the Auntie Collins interview now at this point now?
I don't know. I would hate to have to follow up that interview if I was anybody out there because it was that good. But yeah, it was great. I saw how annoyed she was on screen. I kept pestering her more.
I saw what you were doing as well. I literally saw what you were doing as well, SDG.
But yeah, you've got some great interviews coming up. Of course, like you mentioned, LJ. After that, you got Jose on air
and
with Kyle Sparks on the exact same day, and then. I believe that I've got to get the information to you and finalize it, but the Papa Smokes one will be happening.
Ooh.
That'll be on a Tuesday. So you will be having Papa Smokes on the show. And then, of course, there's who else are we missing there aside from myself?
So
and
we've got next up LJ. Then we've got Jose on air and Carl Sparks the week after.
Yeah.
And then we'll work out when. Then we've got Papa Smokes. Then we've got Lauren Goodnight. And then you, and then it ends with you then interviewing me.
There we go. That sounds like one hell of a interview series to me. So yeah, but
I'm really annoyed that it's
and
going
here
now.
I'm having to follow up everybody else who's just been kicking ass this whole time. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do here for you. Where does your passion for interviews come from, Mark?
So when I first started doing my football channel, me and a mate of mine used to talk a load of crap about Reading, like what me and Bobby do here, just talking about a load of crap about football. And then we decided to branch out together to get journalists in the Reading area to come on and sort of quiz them and sort of have conversations with them. And I love doing it. And I really enjoyed sort of my interview style is very different than I would say like an entertainment journalist where they do loads of background on the person and they do loads of things to sort of get like little hints, like Navwar, who just knows the ins and outs of a duck's arse of a certain person and just knows things that the artist doesn't know. I'm not like that. For me, I think the one thing, and I said this to Bobby a few weeks ago, is I love to sit down with people, and I will tell you the backstory behind how I do it. It's quick. Is basically I write 4 questions, the key 4 questions I will ask. And then what will happen is I will see the conversation of how it's going, and I will then go with the flow with that. I always find the best interviewers, the ones that I look up to, is Chris Van Vliet, who does excellent wrestling content. If you watch him, he never has notes in front of him. He just listens to the conversation, has it in his head, and he just asks questions. And that's just for me. I love to get to know people doing it. And my goal on this channel is to have one I've done with OLE people is to get wrestlers on, names that that's just pure ability. You know. It's pure, but I found that I'm quite, this just sounds so egotistical and I don't want it to come out egotistical, is I can spot something that's being said and I can hear it and then I know the way that I need to go with it. And I just love doing it. And my goal is to interview wrestlers, and hopefully when the next big event happens over here in the UK, I can use OLE as the sponsor thing that I can do to go and interview wrestlers and start doing that. Egotistical that, yeah. No. No, we do not disrespect Dom Dom here. We love Dom Dom. Dom Dom's the greatest. So yeah. That's my passion. I just love it. And Bobby knows I love doing that. And we had a conversation for a while before I did it. And then I was like, why don't we do it? Because I remember when I first come to OLE, I wanted to do a video package of everybody talking about themselves. And then I got nearly everyone sent. And then I was like, we need to do something. More personal. And then that's when I come up with the idea of doing that, because I didn't want to be, when I first joined OLE, would I say full time, or I say full time because I was behind the stage and I was trying to do everything. Was I wanted to bring something to the channel and just not be a lurch. So that's when I come up with the idea of doing this first, and then I think I've just been doing post shows, and I love doing post shows, and I think I'm just a WWE correspondent at this point with post shows. But I just love them. I love talking WWE.
Yeah, and we love having you on here as well too. And the interviews have been going great, and looking forward to more of them. Speaking of interviews, I'm gonna mention this for those who didn't catch it on Thursday night with myself and Pop Spokes. Is speaking of interviews, this Thursday night at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time on Ring Respect Radio, you can join myself and Papa Spokes as we welcome 17-year veteran of the ring coming from the Kiwi land, New Zealand. One James Shaw from the Divine Light is going to be joining myself and Papa Spokes for Ring Respect Radio this Thursday. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun one. James Shaw, a really great veteran of the Squared Circle. So we're looking forward to talking to him about SPW and just work in the New Zealand area. So tune in for that. But yeah, no, it's let's talk a little bit about no, it's all good. Let's talk a little bit about the
hacker in the background. Ignore me.
The football stuff. Oh, Kitty wants to jump away. The football stuff, Mark. Let's start with NFL. I'm going to give you the floor. It's NFL Sunday, the start of the season. You're an NFL guy. Talk to us a little bit about what to expect from this season in NFL.
So we've already had 2 games. Is it 2 games or 1 game? I can't. I'm going to go on result. I've literally got an iPad down here that's telling me everything that's got coming up. We've had two games. So we had the Kansas City Chiefs that just won against the Baltimore Ravens after a toe went over the white line in the end zone for Baltimore for it not to count. And then the Philadelphia Eagles went down to Brazil. Thank you. You can love Dom STG, because I saw yesterday you subscribed to my wrestling channel. So behave, because Dom will be showing up somewhere. But yeah, so the Philadelphia Eagles won against the Green Bay Packers and did a good job. Big bad news for Packers, as Jordan Love is going to be out for the next 3 to 6 weeks with an injury that will keep him sidelined. So the backup QB will be coming in, but we've got loads of games here today. So Bobby, I'm going to name teams. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a prediction off. We're going to do this every week because the NFL season's back, right? Yeah. NFL season's back. We've got this for the next 18 weeks. We're in week 1 now. So on every Sunday, before we get going, yeah, it did look bad. It was the ankle that sort of just went, if I'm right on that. What was your favourite teams first off? My team I support, Miami Dolphins. And I'm predicting them to win the Super Bowl, even though I know full well it's not going to happen. It's like me with England at the World Cups. I know full well it's not going to happen, but I'm going to pick them to win it. So, Bobby, who's your favorite?
Or me with Manchester United anytime they field against anybody. I don't watch NFL. I'm going to be straight up. I don't really have a team.
It's going to be more fun.
So I'll watch if people are watching. Here's the thing with most sports, if somebody's watching it, I'll sit down, I'll have a beer, I'll watch sports with people. When I go to people's houses and there's a football match on, whether it be English football or Canadian football, NFL football, I'll watch it. I enjoy watching the sports. I just don't get into them to the point of watching them religiously. If anything, as a kid, I used to always pick a team from every sport that I would follow. Mm-hmm. And if I was to go back to that, it would be Los Angeles. I don't know why in particular. I guess a lot of their merchandise was available in my area when I was a young child. So that would be why. Not saying that they'd be a favorite or anything like that, but whatever. Like, sure. Your pick of Miami. Sure. Miami's great because Ace Ventura mentioned them once upon a time. So let's go with that.
So should we have a predictions off? Yes, they can.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this way wrong. Feel free to throw them my way. I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
get a
This is
single
why it's
one
going to
right.
be more fun. So, Bobby, have you got a pen and paper? Because we need to write down our predictions. And I haven't got anything around me to write down. Write this down, and then we'll go through it. Actually, we'll do this STG as well, and we'll do fan comments as well. I want you to put down who you think's going to win the games as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a tally every week to see who gets the most wins, and it will be 1 point. Well, 1 point for a win, 0 points for a loss, and the most that you get, and it will be viewers versus me versus Bobby. Right?
All right. So viewers versus Mark.
We've got 18 weeks of this.
Versus Bobby. All right, here we go.
Right, first game will be, which is you can bet on it on Sky Bet. It's literally I'm on Sky Sports, that's why I know that. You've got Minnesota Vikings versus New York Jets. Chat, STG, who are you going for? Jets, Giants, New York Giants, or the Vikings? And then, Bobby, I'll let you pick first.
I'll go with the Jets.
Giants.
You say it was the Giants or the Vikings?
It's the Giants versus the Vikings.
The Giants versus the Vikings. Oh, okay. So I'm picking the...
STG is going to be proper on this. He's getting his Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yes, I know I did it wrong.
Yeah, he sure did. So I picked the Jets, but I'll go Giants. I'll switch it to Giants. Mark, you're going Giants as well?
No, I'm going Vikings.
You're going Vikings, okay?
Justin Jefferson's just got that new highest paid wide receiver. And I think they could do all right. New QB, new quarterback this year. Let's see how they get on. STG, who are you going for? Giants
Vikings for STG.
or Vikings?
All right.
Yeah, he's got the Vikings.
STG's on your side on this one, Mark.
Panthers are playing the Saints. New Orleans Saints. Oh, I don't know this one.
All right. Well, just because of old partnerships and having to hear about them all the time, I will choose anybody but the Saints. So I'm going to go with the Panthers on this one.
All right. Panthers, STG, who are you going for? So I'm going to go for... Oh, this one's like picking between shit and shit. I'm going to go with...
Should pick the shinier piece.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Saints.
Going with the Saints, all right.
Yeah. I'm going to go STG. Yeah, Carolina have improved. I'll agree with you on that. But I still think they are missing... They're missing quite a few pieces to the puzzle. I don't see them doing that well. So are you going with Carolina or you go? Oh, he's got Saints. Okay.
Yeah, he's got the Saints. Yep.
Next up, we've got the Jags are playing Dolphins. I'm going Dolphins.
Sorry, who was the first team again?
Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay,
AEW versus Miami Dolphins.
All right, so AEW versus a bunch of Dolphins. All right.
Oh, fucking hell no. New Orleans have the lowest ranked O-line. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, but to be fair, they haven't got, what's his name, the running back anymore, who's now at San Francisco. I can't remember his name now. CMC, I think his name is. But yeah, no. So I'm going Dolphins. Who are you going for, Bobby?
I don't know. Just to be opposite to you on this one, I'm just going to pick the Jaguars.
Oh, AEW, you bitch. Why?
Yeah, why not?
No.
Why not? Go team TK. I mean, you fail at everything else. I'll give you this one.
All right. STG, but
STG's going with the Dolphins, where he says it's going to be close, but he's picking the Dolphins.
Close. It will, and Lewis.
I'm clearly picking all the wrong teams here, clearly, because the two of you watch this shit and you're on the same page, and I'm going opposite on every single one. So I'm going to get like 0 fucking points on this. You do understand that,
Lewis Rees-Zammit, the former rugby Tyreek Hill and his dumbass was arrested for... Yeah, it don't matter. He can drive that car through to the end zone, and he's quicker than any cop anyway, so it's fine. So it's absolutely fine, so I don't care. Next up, we've got Houston, Texas versus Indianapolis Colts. I don't know with this one. I really don't know. You go for Bobby?
I'll go with Houston.
Yeah, that's probably a good shout there. But the Colts, there's just something about the Colts. Maybe because I watched the Pat McAfee show. This will be closer than it seems Houston. And yeah, this will be close. I think this will go into overtime. They're at the Colts. Oh, I'm going Colts. It's a divisional game.
Colts?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
I'm going Colts.
Should I just put STG under Colts already?
On paper, it's Houston. On paper, yes, but I just have a feeling it's going. I'm picking Houston because of the time. Yeah, I get that. I just have a funny feeling.
Look at
that
Team Canada is on the same side for once here.
Pittsburgh Steelers are playing Atlanta Falcons.
Steelers versus the Falcons.
I know who I'm going for with this, but I'm waiting for STG to say something.
Well,
really? Oh, I wouldn't go with that.
STG going with the Atlanta Falcons. I was actually thinking the
Pittsburgh
Steelers because I like their logo.
I'm going Steelers. I just think they've done better in the offseason than the Falcons, and they've paid way too much money for Kirk Cousins.
There we go. All right.
Tennessee Titans are playing the Chicago Bears.
Titans versus the Bears. Well, I'm gonna go Titans because I
should pick in this. Yeah, I know they're picking Fields, but there is chance that Russell Wilson can start. But it could be Russell Wilson starts the first quarter and then Fields takes over. It's going to be a running game anyway. So it's whoever can do the better of the running game. So Bears versus Titans.
Yeah, Bears versus Titans, STG.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Titans because I always think a Titan is tougher than a Bear.
And also, I really want to see Seth Rollins tweet, "I hate football," after every Chicago Bears game, which has been happening every single time. So I know who I should go for. Yeah, Bears and Titans. Yeah. So who are you going for, STG? I want to see who he goes for here. Because I know who I should go for, but I don't know if I'm going to go that way. If he says the team that I'm thinking, then I'll go the other way. Bears have the talent, but the number one QB is making a debut and rookie. I'm just like, I'm going the other way then. I'm going Bears.
All right. Team Canada on the same page again. Mark's going with the Bears.
I'm going Bears. I think the first part of that is right. QB1 making his debut, fearless. And I've seen Caleb Williams' college tape, and I think he'll do really good. Next up, we've got Arizona Cardinals versus Buffalo Bills. I think this game could be very one-sided, and I think we're probably all going to pick the same. Bobby.
You go first this time.
All right, Bills. I hate to say it, but it's going to be the Bills.
Yeah.
I hate the Bills.
That's where STG's going as well, too. You know what, guys? I want to get at least one goddamn point, so I'm going to side with you guys on this one.
Oh, I hate that I went with the Buffalo as well. It's annoying me. New England Patriots versus Cincinnati Bengals.
Patriots versus the Bengals.
This one's easy for me, I think.
I know who the Patriots are, at least, but I don't know. I know they're also like the hated team of the NFL too, so I think I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals as well.
I think we all are by the looks of it. Yeah, Cincinnati from STG as well too.
New England's going to be picked on all season. They are tanking. They're fully tanking this year. They need that number one draft pick.
I have a chance at least 2 points here. 2 points, boys. I can.
You got the Broncos versus Seattle. I think I know where this is going.
Okay, well, based on my knowledge of the Broncos from my love of The Simpsons, I have to go with Seattle on this one. Okay, for anyone who doesn't know the line, Homer his dream one day is to own the Dallas Cowboys, and he ends up with someone with Hank Scorpio sending him the rights to own the Denver Broncos. And he goes, "Oh, the Denver Broncos." And Marge turns to him and goes, "Homer, I think owning the Denver Broncos is a great thing." And he goes, "You just don't understand football, do you, Marge?" So I'm going with Seattle based on that only.
See, the Broncos. Yeah, I'm going to go Seattle as well. I'm going Seattle. Right.
We're all on the Seattle train this time.
We got Las Vegas Raiders at Los Angeles Chargers. The Broncos have a rookie QB too. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be tanking. just because of who their head coach is. I just don't think that they're going to be tanking. It'd be interesting if they do, but I don't think they will because of the shitstorm that happened last year. I just don't see that happening. Raiders against the Chargers. I know exactly who I'm going for with this, and I'll go first. I'm going Chargers.
Okay.
You've got the former Michigan head coach, and I think he will do really well. But
Chargers, STG's Chargers.
Yeah.
Just to keep it interesting, Bobby's going to go throw his vote over onto the Raiders. Go Raiders!
Oh no. Washington Commanders versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Commanders versus the Buccaneers.
I think Jim Harbaugh, yes, he's successful in San Francisco in the early 2010s. Yes, very much so. And Jim Harbaugh went back to Michigan and won the college football over there as well, and then come back. Yeah, yes, that's who I'm going for as well.
All right. You know what? I like their name, so I'll go that way too. My knowledge is deep of this sport, gentlemen. As you can tell.
You know what this means now, don't you? Even though I can't stand Baker Mayfield, another rookie QB. Yeah, Baker Mayfield did well last year. I don't like going for rookies in their first game. It's a rule I have. That's fair enough. But you also got to remember they could bring up some surprises. There's a lot more QB1s this year through the draft than I thought there was going to be. Then we've got next up Dallas Cowboys versus Cleveland Browns. I'm going Browns because I hate the Cowboys. So I refuse to pick Dallas Cowboys in anything. So I am going for the Browns.
And based on my previous comment about Homer Simpson's dream, I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right, SDG, you're up, my friend.
Come on, SDG. Come on. My heart says Cleveland. My head says Dallas. That's still not enough. So Dallas. Oh, for fuck's sake.
There we go. Team Canada all the way there.
Right. We got the LA Rams versus Detroit Lions. I think I know where this is going, but I'm not 100. Yeah. Can Detroit do it again? Go.
Ouch.
I hate Dallas as much as I hate Manchester United.
I'm like, I'll give you the Toronto Maple Leafs comment, but Jesus Christ, Manchester United, motherfucker.
Right, Rams versus Lions.
I'll go with the Rams.
I'm going Lions.
All right. STG.
It's at Lions, so I'm predicting Eminem to come out. It is the toughest game to pick because I don't know about the Rams if they're going to play well this year or not. So I have zero amount of clue. So
even down the middle.
It's even down. Yeah, it is.
Well, he's going Lions.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. What we are going to do is we're also going to do the pick for the start of week 2 because the next game's Friday the 13th. So we will be doing that pick as well before we get into the Sunday game. So the last game I've got here is on Tuesday. Tuesday for me, Monday for you lot. The Jets versus San Francisco 49ers. I'm going 49ers. I think that they will be very close to getting the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
Very close.
I'm going to go that.
They will be the toughest challenge for Kansas City Chiefs.
I'll go that direction as well, too. And it looks like STG is on board. So I think
yeah, that's it. I was going to say, if you've got CMC in your fantasy, you are cooking points, I tell you. Who's the team that you support then, STG? Because at this precise moment, what we've worked out is you hate everyone. And you're Canadian. So I want to know.
Didn't you know that about us Canadians?
Yeah,
we watch, but we hate watch. We hate watch everything.
Yeah. Oh, you're Seattle. Oh, okay, there we go then. That's fine. Right, week 2, game 1 that we've got is the Buffalo Bills will be at Miami Dolphins Friday night, midnight. It will be for me, not for you lot. Will be midnight over here. That is apparently going on Sky Sports NFL. My geographical location is near Seattle. Chelsea Green's home to. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green. Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins. I'm getting Miami even
Of
though
course,
it's
yeah.
probably not going to happen. I'm going Miami, and we're going to win.
And I'm going to go with the Bills just because I got to root against you on this one.
Right, STG, final game you got to pick. You don't get Friday games. You can get it on YouTube TV, can't you? I think. Is that a thing that you can have now in America?
No, but we're in Canada, and even our version of YouTube television is different from the US one due to copyrights and all that kind of stuff. So, but
yeah, if it's on TV, you can't watch it online. That's the one thing we have over here as well. If it's on Sky Sports, you can't watch it anywhere else. But he's going Miami, yes. Tua Tagovailoa, this new sort of his new contract is going to send us. So they're the games. Those are the games of the NFL.
Those are the games.
It's
so
gonna
we'll
be a bit
report
fun.
back. We'll report back next Sunday then, and let everyone know where the point standings were. This is going to be fun. I like it. Great new additional point of view right there. So
let's see, viewers versus me versus you. Who gets the? We should do a prize.
A prize.
Yeah. If STG finishes last, he has to gift 10 subs on Twitch.
that's brutal, man. Those are expensive these days. That's like $11 a sub right there.
If you win, that's fair. Yeah. And if I come last, I'll gift 10 subs. How much is it?
I think it's like $11 Canadian now or something like that for a sub.
I'm fine with that. I'll do that. We'll do that. Whoever finishes last has to do that and gets punishment, but we'll think of the punishment later on.
That's not punishment enough.
No. Whoever finishes first, what should the winner get? That's the question. Can we gift them in September?
Yeah, September next September. Because I mean, by the time the season's done, we'll just tally it up and do it then. Huh? Yeah, then they're cheaper.
We'll start of the new season.
Yeah,
we will do the 10 gifted subs then. But then what should we do for the winner? We need to think of a prize for the winner. Because I know it's going to be me, so I'm just trying to think of what do I want?
Jesus Christ! What do you want?
What should we do for the winner? All right, the winner is, so if me or you win,
yeah,
okay, we are in full control of OLE on a Sunday, and we can do whatever we want. Any conversation for as long as we want. We're full control of OLE.
Isn't that what we do anyway?
Yes, but I'm trying to think of something, and then my brain's right. If you're watching this, and you've watched, and it's already happened, put in the comments down below what you think we should do.
I got an even better one. Why don't we do something similar to what we're doing with the English Premier League?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So here's the deal.
No.
If STG and the viewers win, we both take an ice bucket bath. All right? If
February.
You win, I take it. And if I win, you take it.
All right, we'll do that.
So either way, one of the two of us or both are in that. So.
Do you know what I've just realized as well? The end of the NFL season's in February.
Oh no, that's even more brutal for me, Dad.
I just realized that's gonna be freaking freezing. It's freaking freezing.
It's like minus 40s here in Saskatchewan at that point, dude. Like, I mean, I'm gonna die.
Oh Jesus, that is going to be horrific.
It will be. Horrific. It will be. But you know what? That's what we're all about. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. So
very much so.
All right. So that's NFL. Because we're gonna run a little bit late, I just this will be the quick topic of the night to finish things off. I just want to talk about that goal because again, the topic of today's show is never too old, and apparently Wayne Rooney never believes he's too old to go and score a beautiful goal like he did. Have you seen it, Mark? Have you seen the free kick that he took? Man, there are some players out there right now. Take lessons. Take lessons from what Wayne Rooney did at his age right now, because Jesus Christ, was that a thing of beauty. It was like watching Wayne Rooney back at his best right there, kind of thing. If all Wayne Rooney ever did for a team at this point in time, aside from coaching them, was to come on to take a free kick every once in a while like that, he could take some teams pretty far with that kind of stuff.
Very much so. And he's really shown as well that he can still do it. But the issue is, and one of the topics I have seen online is about Plymouth at the moment, because he's the current manager of Plymouth. I'll buy you a gift card at OE. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. But with Plymouth at the moment, they are currently, if my thing loads, third from bottom on 2 points. Hasn't won a game yet this season. On -5 goal difference. 1 point behind Preston, who currently on 3 points as well. With Luton, second from bottom. Recently relegated Premier League team, now second from bottom, 4 games, 0 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, and Cardiff currently rock bottom of the Championship as well. I saw your jacket potato comments. I saw it. I friggin' ate jacket potato. But the one thing with Rooney is he does show that age doesn't matter, but he does need to start teaching his players to start doing that with the team that he's currently managing, because I think this is Rooney's last opportunity in England to get a proper good job to try and push himself up the ladder for managerial roles. But at the moment, not going too well for him.
Yeah. I'm a massive Wayne Rooney fan, clearly. Want to see him succeed as a manager. It's unfortunate that he hasn't really gotten there just yet. But again, I look at it this way. Rooney's still young as a manager too. Not everybody got it right overnight kind of thing. And he's going to take some time to get there, and it might take the right team. Maybe he will turn Plymouth around yet. We don't really know, but yeah. SDG, do former players make great managers in your eyes? Yes, because a lot of managers okay, but by that argument, Mark, think about it. Okay, hold on. Now, are we talking just former players in general or former top players? Because that's the thing. A lot of the best ones, players turned managers, weren't necessarily the top club players. Not to say they weren't good. Don't get me wrong. Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest managers of all time, especially for me, was a player prior to that. And most managers were players at some point in time. But it's a good point. I'd say all former top and bottom feeders. I don't know. I think that there is success to be had.
There's a history of players that retire early do better in management than players that play out their whole career. And I'll give you examples. Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho did a little bit of football. I think he was a goalkeeper or he was a defender. I can't remember which one it was. Or Nuno Espirito Santo, the Nottingham Forest manager who went to Wolves manager who went to Tottenham. He was a former Porto goalkeeper and then retired and become a manager. Jose Mourinho, didn't really make it professionally, but he had the knowledge by going to Porto, staying there with Bobby Robson, Bobby Robson took him to FC Barcelona when he became manager of Barcelona. And then Mourinho then went back to Porto to manage, won the Champions League with them, got the Chelsea job. Pep Guardiola wasn't really a first-team player, was a defensive midfielder, centre-back, wasn't really in the Barcelona team, retired, and now is the greatest manager, one of the greatest managers in existence of football. So it's all about your mindset. And I'll go with this. If you're going to be a manager, I look at myself, right? And I'm going to talk from personal experience because I was a football coach and I coached between the ages of 7 and 14. I've coached all of those ranges of players. It all depends on the person that's coaching you. All depends on the manager that's there. So, for example, Pep Guardiola is not the same tactician and same manager as he was when he first started. You look at Jose Mourinho, slightly changed his style in different clubs he goes to, but he has a principle. Pep Guardiola has a principle, but changes the slight principle of it to get to sort of make it work for him. Sir Alex Ferguson had a principle, but he changed it with the players and the structure of the club. He's got Arsene Wenger, exactly the same thing. Jurgen Klopp. You've got a philosophy, but you slightly change it to the players you've got. The issue with big players that are going into management now is they think about it. They think of it was, I know a style of play that I liked when I played football. That's how I'm making my team play. And I will give you examples. Steven Gerrard did really, really well at Rangers. Made the massive mistake of going to Aston Villa because he wasn't able to translate that the way he wanted to play into it. He got sacked and went to Saudi Arabia. Andrea Pirlo, one of the greatest midfielders that's ever existed in Italian football, couldn't hack it as a manager because he wants them to play in the way that he plays. So it's all about, you need to take your ego and your self-esteem out. That's why Cristiano Ronaldo has now got his own YouTube channel, and he was asked, would he ever become a manager? He said no. He can't do it because he's very much of, you need to take your ego out, look at the players you've got, look at the structure of what there is, and work with that and develop them and train them. And I think a lot of the managers these days don't get enough time. But not only that, you look at Reading, and I'll give you a prime example of Reading, right? And I'll give you a prime example of the difference between Reading and Manchester United right now. Okay, I'm talking on the pitch. Reading in the first season after Ruben Selles, during that first season, he changed his formation 4 or 5 times during that season to try and work out, oh my God, Dak Prescott's got that much money? Fucking hell. That's way too much for him. Anyway, 4 or 5 different 4 or 5 different formations that were tried during it, right? And then the start of this season, he's worked with his players. They've got down to what he wants. They know exactly what they need from him, and they've done it. Manchester United are under Erik ten Hag now for 3 years. This will be his 3rd season, if I'm right. Then that will mean, what is the style difference between Manchester United when Ten Hag stepped in to now? You look at Arne Slot after the Manchester United-Liverpool game. He turned around and broke down Manchester United in 2 minutes. 2 minutes it took him on television to break down everything that was wrong with Manchester United. Not that he put it that way. Yeah, I'm surprised he's lasted this season. And Jamie Carragher was right. There was a big heated debate between Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville after the game. And he very much said Manchester United bottled sacking Ten Hag because he won the FA Cup. And Gary Neville was like, well, there was no other managers out there. There's always managers out there. You're Manchester United. You can get whoever you want. Xavi was let go by Barcelona at the end of the season. What a style of play that would have been for Manchester United this season under Xavi. He did excellent work for Barcelona, but because they're so financially stupid that they're struggling. And it's the same thing. Reading know a style of play they're playing. Manchester United, under 3 years of Ten Hag, have no clue what to do on a football pitch. And it's right, the positioning. You could play out from the back. Gary Neville was right. If you play out from the back, it's all about your positioning of where the players need to be, to where your passes go, where it needs to get to. They have no clue. That's why Kabi Mainu got intercepted for the 3rd goal. Casemiro got wrapped up like a fucking sweet for the 1st goal. And that's the problem with Manchester United. They've got the players, they haven't got the style.
Oh yeah, no, we definitely have the players, and again, I've said it before that I don't like to see managers just get sacked all the time. Like it's, there needs to be opportunity for them to develop. But again, when you're saying there's no style, you're right, there is no style, and the problem is that every time they keep asking Ten Hag, what are you going to do? His answer always time, well, we got to bounce back, we got to push forward, bounce back, push forward. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, how are you? That's what people want to know, is how. How are you going to push back? How are you going to bounce forward? How are you going to do this? Because so far, your decision making has been good enough to win a couple trophies. Great. But so have a lot of managers across that time too. And they didn't last either. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jose Mourinho was in his 3rd season when he got sacked halfway through, and he won.
He always gets sacked.
He won. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the Jose Mourinho method. Yeah.
The end.
First season he rebuilds, 2nd season he wins shit, 3rd season he gets sacked halfway through. But I mean, that's just how it goes. Yeah. But I agree with you. Again, like, I mean, I'm a Manchester United fan. I would like to see them do well. I would have liked to have seen Ten Hag do well and continue to do well, because I want a consistent manager more than I want, let's keep changing it until we get it right, because we haven't got it right in over a decade.
The one thing I have found as well, right? You look at the new managers that have come in, okay? Let's go with Crystal Palace with Oliver Glasner. You know the style of play that he's going to play straight away. Attacking football, wingers going down as well. You know it's going to be high press. You look at Hertzler, that's the 31-year-old that's managing Brighton. You know, pickpocketing football. A little bit of De Zerbi, but a little bit manufactured on top of that. A little bit of closing the pocket and the spaces and doing it passing out wide. And very much of, you look at Arne Slot in the first 3 games of Arne Slot. First game against Ipswich, a little bit different, but possession-based football. But if you need to go long, Van Dijk will do that, or Trent will get the ball down in there to do it. Same with the second game against Brentford, struggling to break it down, little bit of changes here and there from positions, and they got it in and won. Manchester United, he said, wingers out wide, striker at the front, let them play it out, let your wing backs come inside, break down the middle, because Manchester United won't go wide, and then you just cover it and go forward. And there's no style of play with Manchester United right now that goes, they're a possession-based counter-attacking, there's nothing. I look at Manchester United and go, you've got a great squad. What are you meant to be doing?
It's just for them. It's dump the ball and hope that something happens. That's pretty much what they play right now. And Mark's team is Reading, by the way. STG. That's I'm the United fan. And again, like this, we were talking about coaching. You mentioned you being a coach. I was a coach. For the longest time, I was a coach. I've coached anywhere from an under 5 level team right through to adult level teams. I have pulled gold medals, trophies as a coach and everything like that. I was a defender. I started as a striker when I was young because I had a really hard shot. And especially when I was at a young age, to have that kind of a hard shot scared the living shit out of goalkeepers, so I could score a lot of goals. As I got older, that developed into me being able to send the ball from the back out to a strong midfield or to a forward if I saw an opportunity. I'm also incredibly quick for a big guy. So a big guy that can move at the back and be able to get into position and be able to defend the ball tends to be a large advantage. I was never going to be the guy scoring 100 goals a season, or, I was never that guy, but I was able to see the game from the back and notice what needed to be done in order to change things up. And that's what I bring to my coaching style. And I've been given misfit teams before and stuff like that. And I try to make logical goals for them. When I was given a team in the area that I was coaching, this was the first time many of them have played the full pitch before. They were used to the under 10 and below levels where they played kind of a quarter pitch. We finally brought a bunch of these players in. This was going to be the first time they were playing full pitch football. And how were we going to do it? And at the beginning of the season, I said to them, I said, I'm going to let you guys all know right now, we probably aren't going to go out there and wow the clubs with our ability to win games. I said, what I want to see in the first game is what you do together at the start. It's going to probably be bad. And I prepared them for that. I was like, because we have not put a team together in this field before, we need to see where you're at, what needs working on, and where we can develop from there. So we did that. We lost 7-0. First game, we lost 7-0. And then I started making goals from there. I'm like, all right, we lost 7-0 in the first one. Let's reduce that score in the next one. Let's get a little better and a little better. I said, by the end of the season, I want us to have scored, and I want us to have at least picked up a point. That was my goal. If we could pick up a point by the end of the season, we would have accomplished something. And that's what we did. By the end of the season, we tied the final game. The kids celebrated like they had won the entire season, like they had won a trophy, because it was such an accomplishment for them to get to that point. And a lot of them since then have gone on to start playing for better teams. They've gone on to better clubs. They've continued their development because of the fact that we were able to sit down and give them a proper goal to reach, give them something to accomplish that wasn't setting their mind on, if you don't win, you're already not good kind of thing. So we put it in their heads, be prepared. You're likely not going to win, but let's make some realistic goals on your development. And that's what we did. And sometimes it's just looking at players, because a lot of these kids get in their head, I want to be the striker. I want to be this. I want to be that person that gets that goal.
I want to be Ronaldo. I want to be Messi.
Yeah. but you're not necessarily that player. You're not necessarily that. I remember going into a U19 team where we had one guy, I'm the striker. All right, let's see you play. Saw him play. I'm like, you're not a striker. What do you mean I'm not a striker? I'm like, you're too fumbly when the ball comes in, he's not quick to put that leg in. Like, he was a tall boy, like 6'4" kind of boy. Ball comes in and he has to take 1 or 2 steps before he can take a shot. And by the time he's lined up that shot, there's enough defenders on him that they're putting a block in on him most of the time. I said, we need to pull you back. I want to play you as like a number 9 or something. Not a number 9, sorry, but like a number 10 position, pull you back into a spot supporting the striker. Because again, if you're in the midfield, I'm like, hello, Bobby Stats. How are you doing this morning? I wanted to put him into a role where it's like, okay, if you're behind the striker and you happen to be in there supporting the midfield as well too, he had a hard enough and long enough shot that I felt the accuracy was going to be more on point from distance than it would be in front of the net. And sure as shit, he scored more goals that season than he had ever scored in his life by just dropping back that one spot kind of thing. And he didn't realize it because every other coach he came across was like, okay, you're the striker because you said so. And I have that different mentality of, let's go out there. I'll divide the teams into 2 split teams right now and play. I'm not going to even teach you something on day 1. Day number 1 is go on that pitch and show me what you do. Show me the positions you think you're suited for, and let's work it from there. And that's when I'm able to objectively look at it and go, okay, yeah, this guy's effective there where he says he is. But, sometimes you also have to look, is that person effective there because they're good at that position, or do they need support? Is there someone that I can put somewhere near them to support them that's going to take them one step further kind of thing? And then sometimes you have to look at a game. Sometimes you come across these teams and it's like they've got that system figured out. What can we do to tweak that system to get around certain teams? And we've done that before too. We had a team that was completely undefeated for a whole season with that U19 team. And they come into it, then they're the club of clubs in Saskatoon, right? Like Astra Soccer is like the club. They put all the money into it, all the training. They've got the top coaches, blah, blah, blah. And I said to these boys, I said, look, boys, if you do one thing this season, one thing, even if we don't get to the playoffs and we don't win the trophy, beat Astra. Beat Astra. And that one game, we beat Astra 3-0. And I'm talking like we walked by the Astra locker room afterwards, and the coaches were screaming at these guys for losing that matchup, for losing that one match that did nothing else to the rest of their season because they went on to win everything else. They were so pissed at that one match, and it meant the world to our team to have been the ones to annoy them in that sense. It was great. It was a great feeling. We appreciate you too, Bobby. As always, thank you for the support.
But before we finish, should we talk about England?
We can, yes.
Yeah, should we talk about England quickly? Picking up their first win without Gareth Southgate under Lee Carsley, the former Republic of Ireland international midfielder. He is now turned England head coach, playing against the Republic of Ireland with a team of Pickford, Trent, Gay, Maguire, Colwell, Kobbie Mainoo, Rice, Grealish, Saka, Kane, Gordon, and then Jarrod Bowen, Eze, Morgan Gibbs-White, Angel Gomez, and John Stones all come off the bench. And do you know what makes it even bittersweet? The former under-21s and youth players of Declan Rice and Jack Grealish that played for Ireland in the youth system of the internationals won. Do you know what? This makes me love Jack Grealish even more, right? So Declan Rice scores because of his grandparents were Irish. And then they moved to England, and then he was playing for Republic of Ireland in the youth system, and he went, "Oh, I'm very sorry," like respect type of thing. Jack Grealish, who I don't know what family members are Irish on his side, but was playing for Ireland. He got the goal, and the first thing he did was turn around, celebrate, punch the fist in front of the England fans, celebrating and going. I was like, "Yes, Jackie boy, you know how to piss off a whole country that's on your back already." And I was like, I love it. But it's all this is a big game for Ireland. We don't really care about them. They will always try and get under our skin. This is a friendly competition for us because they're nothing compared to us. They will sing chants that shouldn't be sung, and they will be trying to get under our skin. But we come out 2-0 winners. Lee Carsley makes a great start, trying to set that set now for when Pep Guardiola says he wants to manage England. Please, I beg you. I beg you. But no, good start, good win. Can't
Lee,
ask any more than that.
Lee Carsley still has to remember which dugout he's supposed to walk to first to see how
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
He got very confused at that point.
that was really funny moment, but once he got it all figured out, everything went smoothly from there, and it was a great win for England. Again, Lee Carsley, I mean, it was a different style than what we saw with Gareth Southgate. It was a little bit more exciting, a little bit more flair to it and stuff like that. So that was fantastic to see. There's a lot of hope there. Will he continue to be the manager? Again, they say interim. He'll be interim until they can get Pep Guardiola, is my opinion. And I'd be more than happy for that day to come.
It'll be between Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp, but we've got the Nations League right now with the group of England, Ireland, Greece, and Finland. And our next game will be against Finland Tuesday night, 7:45 UK time. We'll be coming in. When will Pep come? Never. No, he will. End of the season, his contract runs out with Manchester City. And there is talk that Guillaume Balaguer, who is a very good friend of Pep Guardiola, wrote Pep Guardiola's book, has said that there will be only one international team he will ever manage, and that will be England, because he can't manage Spain because of his Catalonia history. Won't go to a developing country like a United States or anywhere else, and he had the most fun time in England. So. And he's won 4 fucking trophies in a row. The guy deserves to give the whole country a little bit of happiness instead of just one side of it for once. So, that will be that will hopefully. If it's not him, I would like Jurgen Klopp. If not, then give Lee Carsley the job. Lee Carsley come through the whole of the system, doing the youngsters, working his way up. So, I'm happy with that type of route they go for as well.
Yeah, we're in decent position, that's for sure. As SDG saying, Klopp is my guy though, but didn't he say that he won't manage England?
Well, it's one of those things where he said that if he took the England job right away, it would be a spit on Liverpool fans' face, because he said that he would never manage for a little while and wants a break. So give him a year, but also he's Liverpool, so that sort of puts him a little bit lower down on the totem pole. So they boo the national anthem, so fuck them.
Yeah, there we go. And on that note, we should probably bring the show to an end, right on the whole F Liverpool comment right there. So Mark, why don't you tell everybody what you got coming up, where they can find you?
You can come and follow me on all of X. I've got Mark Talks Football, Mark Talks Wrestling, Mark Talks Gaming, same everywhere else. On YouTube coming up, what's got coming up this week? I've got a new job on Mark Talks Football. We are now managing Tottenham Hotspur. So we moved from Inter Miami. We went to the Bayern Munich to try and get the job for them. We got down to the final, but the Tottenham manager got their head. I don't stream at the moment. I did, but I haven't done for a little while. That is something, once I move house and all of that, I might look into doing again on weekends. Might do something like that. But yes, so managing Tottenham on there. Currently, what can I say? We're doing very well. So make sure you go and check that out. Mark Talks Wrestling. Tomorrow, I'm going to be recording WrestleMania. So next week and this week coming up will be the build up to WrestleMania, and tonight is the final Elimination Chamber. So make sure you check that out as well. And on Mark Talks Gaming, we're carrying on replaying GTA 5 in 2024. I've already had a strike from TikTok from a clip of GTA that said I shouldn't be allowed to show it. And it was, and I can tell you which one it was. It was of Trevor's arse. Trevor's arse has got me a strike on TikTok. Bastard. And we're also doing F1 Manager 24. So make sure you go and check all of that out. We're doing a lot of gaming channel. I can confirm, hopefully, that after GTA 5, it will be Red Dead Redemption 2. So I love that game. It is so freaking good. So my wife might be joining in the background because she loves me playing those type of games, but she hates me dreaming it because she doesn't like talking, but she likes to watch it. So she might join me in the background for that, but who knows? But yes, that's me. Follow me. Thank you. Love you all.
There
Bobby,
you
what are you doing?
There you go. That's my credentials are rolling down at the bottom there for you, so you can check me out on all of those. But as for what I got going on show-wise, you can always catch me on Thursday nights, like I mentioned, with Papa Smokes for Ring Respect Radio, where we talk independent wrestling, we talk territory days of professional wrestling, and we also throw in some interactive games once in a while as well too. This Thursday night, of course, our guest is SPW New Zealand's James Shaw, so tune in for that one. Sunday is always here on Point of View with Mark, doing the pretty much anything. We talk football, whether American football, English football. We talk all sorts of sports. We talk all sorts of topics that you guys want to talk about as well too. Saturdays on the Prairie Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, you can catch myself and Papa Smokes calling the action as we release a new match every single Saturday for you. And of course, this coming Saturday, 6 days away from the next live tapings live in Saskatoon as PPW presents Revengicide. So if you're in the Saskatoon area, tickets are selling fast. We're almost sold out, so make sure that you get your tickets in advance if you want to be part of the action. Then, of course, this Monday night, I'm going to be joined by Ed and possibly, not 100% confirmed, but possibly Josie Marie will be joining us as well, too, for the Beetlejuice review here on the channel. So make sure you're tuned in for that as well. But we got all sorts of crazy, wonderful, awesome things going on all throughout the week on OLE. You saw the calendar earlier. Make sure to tune into that throughout the week, see what we got going on. There is our credentials rolling at the bottom for you. Make sure if you're watching on replay on YouTube here or live, make sure you're subscribed, turn on the notification bell, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment. All those things help with that pesky algorithm, helps get all these shows to the top and out there for the masses. So if you want to support us in any way, support all the other contributors here on OLE, that's the ways you can go about it. But that's going to be it for us this week on Point of View. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, even when they put Tony Khan's face all over our page like that. SPG, really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. So thank you to everybody who came in, commented, and supported here today. We appreciate that. And until next Sunday, take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.